double your pleasure, double your fun with 13th Colony Double Oaked Bourbon. This is the third release of this highly coveted product. We're going to get into it. We're going to blind it against the first two releases and see if they're improving or if this is one you might be able to skip.
Welcome back to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh. Thank you for joining us today. We're a husband and wife.
We are.
Erin, more the social sipper. Me, just a whiskey nerd. Not professionals at all, but we are here to give you our opinions, completely unbiased. These samples of the 13th Colony Double Oaked from 2024.
This is not a sample.
Yes, this is a bottle, but this is a sample that we received from 13th Colony. But a lot of these reviews are just of that single sample, which is fine. And a lot of our peers are doing that, and they're doing awesome jobs on those videos. We'd recommend you check those out as well on WhiskeyTube. But we are going to blind that sample against batch 1 and batch 2 because we happen to have bottles of both of those. So we're going to get into this.
Yep.
We have mixed these up previously to starting this. Actually, I mixed them up.
We poured them.
I poured them and labeled them and mixed them up, and then Erin came back in and mixed them up after
Again.
I did. Yeah. So the reason we're doing it this way, we could give you a straight review, but we want to circumvent all the hype and everything. Admittedly, we were more fans of batch 1 than batch 2. So we're really curious to see what batch 3 is all about and if this is something that we're going to be hunting ourselves. This video is a little bit to answer that question selfishly. Yep. But I think in our answer, you can glean a lot of good information from that. So as Erin gets into the first glass, go ahead and let you know if you like the type of videos like this where we're tasting things blind against other things to see whether they're worth it or not. I would recommend subscribing to the channel because this is what we do over here all the time. And like the video if you like it. And if you want to get plugged into a great community of whiskey enthusiasts who are good people who love good whiskey, you can, in the video description below, find a link to our Patreon community. People are swapping samples, sharing samples, helping people find bottles. Matter of fact, 13 Colony Double Oaked Batch 1, the reason we even have a bottle of that is because of our Patreon community.
Yeah,
so,
it's true.
You know, all kinds of stuff going on over there, helping people find things. So all that's down there in the video description.
So I'm doing things a little differently.
You always do.
Because they are the same thing. I need to smell them closer together. I can't smell this, taste this, remember all that, then smell this, taste this, then remember that, and then combine my knowledge from these two rememberings to this one.
I swear she's smart, y'all. She's incredibly intelligent. She just doesn't care about whiskey.
Yeah, I don't, my brain is full of other things and I don't catalog whiskey stuff. Like, I'm here for a fun time, not a long time.
Hey, speak to it, sis.
Okay.
What do you think about these?
This smells delicious. They all smell delicious. I do want to say, I feel like I prefer the smell of whatever this one is. Okay. I haven't tasted any yet. It's a little bit more like sweet candied bacon. This middle one. But I'm going to try this one now.
Okay. So one was your standout on the nose. And
they all smell really good.
Yeah. Go ahead. Stop smelling. Start tasting.
Okay.
All right. So glass 2 is the standout on the nose to Erin, which will be interesting to see what it is. But I'm going to pop up a thing right now that says what's what as we're tasting it. So as Erin speaks to the palate, I'll speak to the nose.
It's not as sweet as I expected it to be. It's a little more drying on the finish. Pretty dark. I'm not getting a ton. I need some more to be able to compare. That's kind of how I do it best. If I can speak to like what I'm getting versus something else. So
man,
I'm gonna drink this second.
Go ahead on glass 2. I'll say glass 1 for me smells like straight up maple syrup on Belgian waffles. And then on the palate, it is an insane amount of flavor, compacted, concentrated flavor all over the palate. And it's got this like Dr. Pepper, root beer, dark brown sugar that's been charred, coffee bean, dark. Glass 1 is darkness personified as a whiskey, as a bourbon. That is crazy. And we'll get into some of the stats here in a little bit while Erin's sipping through.
Okay, so first glass, I'm getting a little slight pink eraser vibe.
I can see that, yeah.
And then on the second glass, in comparison, it's more like a white rubber. It's like a new Keds leather shoe.
Okay. Now, I know you have your processes, but we need to make it easy for the people to follow as well.
Okay.
So speak to the white leather shoe while I take a
So it's like
nose
a
and sip.
clean. That's the one that has the kind of smoky candied bacon on the nose, and it still has that smokiness on the palate, not like a smokiness like a Scotch has, but like smoked meats. And then it also has like a very clean white leather taste, which I appreciate. Whereas the first one is like a pink rubber, like a pink eraser rubber, like undertone.
Honestly,
this one the finish is lingering.
I would say that translates to the palate as well. The first one, and I mean this in the best way possible, the first one smells dirty. It smells like it's got some grit and some grime on it, you know? Whereas the second one definitely tastes and smells more clean.
Okay.
It does have that candied.
Yeah.
It's like
I agree.
all the stuff I got on the first one with that kind of maple syrup and Belgian waffles on the nose, that's on the second one, but it's a little bit more candied. And then on the palate, it's a little bit more balanced. I think one's got a little bit more oomph and a little bit more darkness.
This first one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whereas the second glass, it definitely brings a little bit more of a cleaner take on the double oak profile. It tastes less double oaked. You know, you don't have as much oak influence on the second glass.
Yeah.
But it's still really good.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how the third glass stacks up.
Right,
While you're smelling and tasting, I want to say the first batch was 100 and let me look here. The first batch was 135.3 proof.
Oh my gosh.
And then the second batch was 136.8 proof. And then this third batch is down to 133.7 proof.
Okay.
That is such a narrow margin. We're talking about...
They're all proofy, though. If you're talking, they're all in the 130, high 130 proofs.
I mean, it is...
That's almost hazmat.
It's about 1% ABV. Will you detect that on the palate? Not really.
Like the difference is 1%?
Right. It's really more about the blending and all that.
So I want to speak to your maple syrup Belgian waffle on glass 3 or 1. I'm getting Belgian waffles with butter on glass 3.
Okay. It's kind of calling back to glass 1.
Now I really want that for dinner.
I would love breakfast for dinner, and I would love it to be Belgian waffles with maple syrup and butter.
That'd be so good.
And sausage. You have to have a meat with your waffles or pancakes. You can't just... I don't know what kind of barbarian is eating any kind of pancakes or sausage or any kind of pancakes or waffles without a meat component involved. And sausage is superior to bacon.
Well, I disagree with that comment, but I was going to ask you about your sausage situation.
Oh, okay.
Links or patties?
We're getting personal now.
Links or patties?
Southern patties all day long.
What are southern patties?
Like, don't give me some, like, dried out flat patty. Give me a big juicy boy.
Is that what makes it southern?
Like Tennessee Pride, hot sausage.
I didn't know that there was a southern sausage patty.
Tennessee Pride sausage in the white package that you got to cut open. You got to slice your own slices out of it. Give me that. That's what you need. And I like the hot. I like a little bit of spice. I like a little bit of fire.
So I will say this third glass is probably my least favorite out of the 3.
Interesting. Okay.
It's still good.
Why?
But it's lacking the oomph in, not sweetness. There's like just a slight less concentration of flavor that I can detect. It's not watery, so I don't want to give that impression. But in comparison to whatever these two are, it tastes slightly just like a step down in concentration of the flavors. All the same flavors are there, but it's like a little bit lower on the escalator.
I'll be honest, I was barely listening to you, but I kind of heard what you were saying.
It's fine. That's my life.
And what I picked up on was like you were getting less than in this glass compared to the other two, and I agree.
Yeah. It's still good.
I think I said Dr. Pepper and root beer on glass 1, but it's so much more amplified than the actual, like a Dr. Pepper or a Barks root beer or something like that. This is way more in line with that. Yeah. This is the tamest of the bunch.
Ooh. I will say you can tell that it's high proof.
They all have a big finish.
Do, yeah.
Yeah. They all have a big finish. They all have a lot of presence on the palate, but this is by far the softest and the most balanced of the bunch. So if you like that and you don't like a lot of power and punch in your pour, Glass 3 is probably going to be the one you like.
With the caveat that this is still a very high proof bourbon. So there is power and punch in the pour in comparison to even 115 proof bourbon. Just in comparison to the other bourbons in the family, it's probably the least powerful and punchy.
Yeah. Glass 3 is the type of glass that I could see people... It's either going to be their favorite or their least favorite of the bunch, by far.
Yeah.
Because it is so balanced. Glass 1 is the most rowdy, for sure. And it's got all these, like, crazy dark notes, and it's very boisterous. Glass 2 dials that back a little bit, whereas Glass 3 dials it back even more and even refines it a little bit. It's got a really great finish on Glass 3. It's a very cohesive, balanced glass. You're getting the dark fruit notes, like the dark plums, dates, raisins. You're getting like this cola, like root beer type of thing going on as well. And then in addition to all that, you're getting this very heavy oak influence. I mean, they all have that. And if you don't like that, you're not going to like any of these, but...
This is kind of difficult, though.
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick, Glass 3 would probably be my least favorite out of the bunch. While it's still good, I think when I drink a 13th Colony Double Oaked, I'm expecting Glass 1 or Glass 2. Between those two, I don't know which one I prefer. I honestly think it depends on the day. I think overall, maybe Glass 2, if I had to pick one, because the nose is really good on Glass 2 as well as the flavor.
Is it the Goldilocks effect?
It might be.
Is it it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right?
It's just right, yeah.
Okay.
It is kind of like splitting hairs, though. Like, it's not a very clear, obvious answer. And to be honest, tomorrow I could have a different answer, I feel like.
Man, I will say, starting with Glass 3 and going back to Glass 2, the double oak nature of Glass 2 stands out so much more, and it really highlights the balance of Glass 3. So some of this comes down to what you prefer.
Yeah,
in your pours.
I think all of this comes down to preference,
right?
Because these are all good pours. Like, if you are familiar with the 13th Colony Double Oaked flavor profile, they are all within that flavor profile. It's just different nuances and different takes on that same flavor profile. It's very difficult to like pick a winner, in my opinion.
It's actually not difficult for me to pick a winner.
Oh, what do you have?
I've got a very clear favorite and a very clear second and a very clear third.
Okay, well, enlighten us.
What's your ranking first?
I just did it.
The whole thing? 2's your favorite?
Yeah.
What's the other 2?
Third.
Okay. I was in the zone. I'm trying to figure this out. Okay.
I said number 3 is my least favorite.
Catch me up with them.
No, okay, number 3 is my least favorite.
Okay.
If I had to pick a winner, I would say I would pick Glass 2. So therefore, Glass 1 by default would be in second place.
This is a disaster. Okay. So Glass 1's my first place.
Okay. And Glass 1 is my second place. However, it's, again, hold on. It's like splitting hairs. Tomorrow, I could put Glass 1 in first place. 3 days from now, I could put Glass 3 in first place if I'm wanting something more balanced. So,
okay. So, admittedly, I was in the zone trying to figure my rankings out while you were listening to Erin say why she liked what she liked, and I was tuned out for that, as a husband does from time to time, as one does. To me, Glass 1's going to be my first place always. It is the most boisterous, impactful, statement-making whiskey on the table, and I love that.
I will say that.
It's got the most power, it's got the most punch, it's got the most richness and concentration of flavor. It's a crazy pour. Like, Glass 1 does something that very few whiskeys do, period. My second place is going to be Glass 3. Because it's the most balanced. So, like, I'm going all the way to the crazy, wild jazz hands pour on Glass 1 for first. Glass 3, to me, it's the most balanced. It doesn't even taste double oaked. It seems to be, I'm going to be honest, Glass 1's my favorite. Glass 3 seems to be the best crafted whiskey on the table. The best crafted whiskey doesn't mean it's my favorite, because I like the personality that Glass 1 brings. But Glass 3, to me, really does bring a lot of balance. The sweetness and the fruit, it all comes through in like this really beautiful way. Glass 1 and 2 taste double oaked. Glass 3 does not.
I will agree that Glass 3 is the most balanced, and typically that would be what I want. Yeah. I think because I knew what I was drinking. Here's the benefit of doing blinds, double blinds, is when I knew that I was drinking a 13th Colony Double Oaked product, I had certain expectations. This varies slightly from those preset expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it kind of got demoted in my brain just by default, not on purpose. If I had done this in a blind, I could see me liking, like a double blind.
Yep.
I could see me liking Glass 3 because of the balance.
That's a very good point.
So, honestly, I feel like this is rigged. Like, I don't even agree with my own ratings in this because I knew what I was drinking.
That's
like, I knew that I was drinking 13th Colony. I don't know which one they are,
Right.
but
That's why we do it double blind.
I don't even like my answers.
That's why we do it double blind, because it takes all that out of the equation.
Yeah.
And all we're left with is what's in the glass based on our preferences. It
Yeah.
was really interesting. I do think there is a common thread between all these pours.
Oh, for sure.
Flavor profile wise.
Absolutely. You can tell they're from the same family.
Right. I just think one is the powerhouse. It's the sports car with the high horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
Glass 3 is the
refined.
It's the luxury car that's the nice ride. And Glass 2 is like, I don't know, the off-road SUV.
It's still really good. Glass 2 is my favorite.
It's more like
right
the
now.
commuter car. It's like the...
No. That's not, no.
That's denigrating it,
This
yeah.
is still a luxury vehicle. It's
No,
just...
This is a luxury vehicle.
This one
Glass
is
3.
too. It's just maybe like... It's more of a family car.
Okay.
I don't know what we're even talking
I was
about.
trying to make an analogy and you got involved and things got convoluted.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead. Since Glass 2 was your favorite and Glass 1 was my favorite, let's start with Glass 3.
So here's the deal. Let's go with your ratings because I don't even believe mine right now.
Let's start with Glass 3. You already know. You've already seen the ratings, so you'll see. You saw it as they popped up when we were tasting them. But Glass 3,
I bet that's the newest batch.
your last place.
Today.
My second place is Batch 2.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
Well, I have traditionally liked Batch 1 better than Batch 2 in every blind tasting we've ever done.
I wonder if Batch 1 is
period.
Glass 1.
All right, Glass number 2, your first place, my last place, because it was kind of the middle of these. This is Batch 3,
Wow.
which means your, what was this place for you?
Second place.
Second place, my first place. Batch 1 stays undefeated for me. Batch 1 is a special glass of whiskey, man.
So if we're tallying everything, you have historically Batch 1 is always one for you.
Because it's got this crazy dark element to it. This is like dark night whiskey.
Yeah.
It's got like this savory bacon thing going on. Coffee bean.
I got that in Glass 2 though. So Batch 3 for me right now, as of today, has beat Batch 1, but Batch 1 for me has still beat Batch 2 today.
Yeah.
Even though, again, I'm like, I don't even, because I knew what I was drinking, I don't like doing single blinds. I think I always need to be double blind. I don't think I should ever know what I'm drinking.
I don't like knowing what I'm drinking either, and we never guess because you're gonna be wrong.
Yeah.
But truthfully speaking, Batch 3 now, this was your favorite, and this is coming out very soon, if not already out right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough to find.
It
There's
smelled
only
like candied bacon.
There's only like 3,500 bottles out there. They're going to be hard to find. Will we be trying to get one? Yup. Will we get one? Probably not.
Probably not.
But is it worth? I think the retail is up to like 180 to 200.
Oh gosh, that's pretty pricey.
It's special whiskey. You know, will we pay a marked up fee? No, we ain't got it like that. But if I had it like that, I would definitely get one. So hopefully you enjoyed this. This was a ton of fun. Thank you, 13th Colony, for sending this media sample to us. But we blinded against your other batches. Batch 1 still has my heart. But you're digging Batch 3, so be on the lookout. If you're digging this channel, like this video, subscribe to the video, to the channel. Don't subscribe to the video. Subscribe to the channel. And if you're looking for good people who love good whiskey, you can find a link to our Patreon down in the video description. That's how you can support the channel. That's how you can get our barrel picks. You can get bonus content. Live streams over on Discord. People are helping people find things and sharing samples all the time, doing giveaways.
Yep.
We're doing giveaways. It's
lots going down.
It's a cornucopia of whiskey contentment.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's it for today, y'all. Be good to each other, and until next time. Cheers.
Man, 13th Colony, don't miss.
I know.
Batch 1, though.
I have determined I don't like drinking even single blind. I need to not know, and I just need to appreciate what it is for what it is.
The fact that we have an entire second bottle of Batch 1, and I've been sitting on this for
we
so
do.
long. Not actually literally sitting on this. That would be very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
So that's
Incredible.
batch 1? Okay.
Yeah. This was
What's
glass
this?
1. That's batch 2.
Okay.
That's fine. We can, yeah. This right here.
Batch 2 is balanced. I think that was maybe what
Yeah.
has dinged it in the past, is it's balanced in comparison to the first batch.
Soft. Harden up.
But
Harden up, Clarence.
but
I don't know why his name is Clarence, but it
in
just feels
a
right.
double blind,
No offense to Clarences out there.
in a double blind, I bet I would appreciate the balance of batch 2.
Glass 3, like sample 3, batch 3? Mm-hmm. That smells like a tobacco barn on the nose now. That's crazy.
I don't know what a tobacco blind smells like.
That's fair. I used to work in a tobacco
I'm
barn.
sorry.
Did you know that I used to work in a tobacco barn when I
Yes.
was 14 to 15 years old?
Yes, you've told me that story so many times, and your uncle underpaid you, and you worked there for 2 summers just so you could buy a skateboard. Yes, I've heard that
You know how
story
much a skateboard costs?
a
complete?
1,000 times.
You know how much a complete costs?
No, I don't. $150?
Working out in the sun, the hot Tennessee sun and humidity, all day, sun up to sundown, a skateboard complete costs $150. I worked each summer
I literally
to
said
buy
that.
one complete, like $125 to $150.
That was child labor that you were doing.
I played myself.
Yeah,
I drastically undercharged
you
for my
really
services.
underestimated your worth.